What's up, what's up, what's up? Let's talk about it. Ha. Just playing. Don't hate, bro. This is Chalk Talk episode 2, bro. Brought to you by the Let's Talk About It podcast on YouTube, my guy. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. My man's over here hating his
A little bit of hate keeps you strong.
Yeah, why you be hating, bro?
I don't hate that much, just a little bit.
Why you be hating?
So that keeps you in check.
Alright, guys. Well, now that we got the test episode out of the way, and I ran it by Coach Simerson, and we got some kinks worked out. Hopefully this episode is going to be a lot better and get some better feedback than the last one. Yeah, I guess we're just going to hop right into it. So the Keystone Bowl and the Kickoff Classic are in the same location this year, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Selinsgrove High School. It's going to be on turf, which is going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's one of those things, too, that it's just, it feels nice to play on turf.
It's just so much more even.
Yeah.
And I can actually, push off and actually play up to my abilities. It's great.
You excited?
Nice. I'm excited to play.
All right, well, let's look at the two games real quick. First game, Moshannon Valley Vikings. They were, if there were technically conferences last year, they would have been the Mountain Conference champion versus the Columbia County Kings, who were the very last team to make it into the playoffs on a 4-6 record.
Okay.
What do you think, man?
I mean, all football's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So.
We're going up early for that game, right? Because our game's at 4.
Okay.
So their game's at 1. We should go up early. At minimum.
I
mean, and it's in prime. Our game's prime time, but their game's technically prime time too. Because how many people are really gonna be doing something that Saturday? I know teams. There were a couple teams that said that they might be practicing. I know Caleb Houston of the Maniacs said that they might have a practice that day, so they might miss their early game. But I'm really looking forward to both games just because A, we're playing in one, but I think B, it's gonna be good just to have that extra publicity and be able to play in front of essentially the whole league and plus our team's fans and the other team's fans too. So
I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that once we get once the season gets going, everything's just gonna really start rolling for a lot of teams. And I think when it's starting to get to a point where teams are starting to scrimmage now.
Yeah.
You just kind of need to you kind of just need to hit a different color at this point.
Definitely just need to see how you stack up against the rest of the league. For
sure. And so with that being said, and schedules, have been finalized, and everyone's starting to post their schedule on the league page and everything. I did a little research, okay, and Arthur can attest to this because he and I rode together to practice. While he was driving, I was doing the research. So what I did is I compiled the schedules of all of the top teams, teams in the power rankings, and I boiled it down to a number. So what I did is I took the teams that were in the league last year's records that were on the GEFA football page, or on the website, and then for every new team that you had to play, I gave them a 5-5 record. Now, before anyone jumps off the cliff and freaks out, I understand that, we don't know what these new teams have. I understand that. But me saying that every new team gets an 0-10 record is a bit of a disgrace because I don't think any of the new teams are going to go 0-10. And I think putting every new team as being undefeated is fair either. So I think that I just thought the easiest way to do it is we'll give everybody a 5-5 record. Whatever pans out, pans out. I'm in no way, shape, or form predicting that all the new teams are going to go 5-5.
This is just, we don't know how y'all are, so we're just going to just go
straight
neutral.
I'm basically just giving the 5-5 record strictly to help the numbers. And so what I did is I took everybody's schedule, wrote them all out in my notebook, and then I tallied up total amount of wins and total amount of losses to give you a total number at the end. So if a team, for example, has 100 wins and 50 losses in the teams that they're playing, their total number is plus 50. The bigger your plus number is, the tougher your schedule is. So, now with that being said, you can do this, follow for yourself at home. I went all through all the major teams, and I gave, or I broke down basically the top 5 of who has the toughest schedule. So we're going to start at 5, and number 5, believe it or not, is actually a tie between the both teams that were in the championship last year, the Moshannon Valley Vikings and the Mountjoy Cyclones. Their numbers were +9 respectively. I think both teams are going to have really, really good seasons. I like both of their schedules a lot, and I think I really just think both teams are going to be super competitive this year, and I wish them both nothing but the best. So then so that was 5 and 4. The third team are the Mifflin County Tomahawks they were what, +16, right?
Yeah.
They were +16. Either +16 or +18. With the Tomahawks losing a couple of players to the Comanche, I still think they're going to be competitive. With the Comanche moving to the Mountain, it makes the Mountain more competitive, and I think overall the Tomahawks are going to be okay. I mean, that organization for the years that I've been in, this league have always been competitive and are always good, and I think this year is going to be absolutely the same. I don't think there's going to be a difference or a drop off, and I don't expect that either. So then, number 2 is the Upper Dauphin County Comanche with a +19 strength of schedule. We have to play pretty much everybody that was a playoff team last year, and then we get, the Wildcats and a couple of other teams that were toward the bottom. But for the most part, we have a tough schedule. What do you think about our schedule?
I like having some of the top teams in our schedule just because I like going against the top just so I can see where I'm at respectively and see what I need to work on and see how I can make myself better.
Well, and I think it makes more of a statement, too. Like, anybody can beat a team that isn't good. Like, you think about it, like, in college football, if Alabama beats up on Mount Union, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Alabama beats up on, I don't know, the University of Delaware, nobody cares. But if Alabama and Clemson play, like that national title game, it means something. It's the two top dogs going at it. And I think it's really good for the league, and I think a lot of fans should definitely come out and see those games. And number 1,
be entertained.
The toughest schedule that I found, the Reading Raptors, with a +21. Now, the Raptors are a new team to the league. I personally don't know a lot about them other than that they were in the MIFL, which is an indoor league. I'm curious how they're gonna handle the outside, handle the elements in March when it's 5 degrees with a negative something wind chill. I mean, but then again, March.
Still snowy outside.
Yeah, and March is always one of those months where you can have a 50-degree day and a 20-degree day in the same week. It depends.
March in PA is just, it's all bipolar nowadays.
Yeah,
you literally have all 4 seasons in 4 days.
Yeah, Mother Nature needs to get herself together there. But yeah, I mean, I think I don't think strength of schedule this year will matter, unless there's a tie break in any way, shape, or form. But I think that it was just something good to look at, just to kind of see who really has to deal with what. I mean, I know us, like, we're not terrible road trip wise this year. I thought we'd be worse, but I do have a guest. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the phone now. But I do think schedule this year overall, they did the schedules really well, and I think it's just going to be one of those good years of football. Treyway! It's Treyway, everybody!
What's up, Trey?
Treyway.
What's happening, brother?
Oh, nothing. You know, watch this game.
Who you got picked?
I mean, I want the Chiefs, and I can't stand the Patriots.
I feel you.
Steelers fan, yeah.
I feel you.
Chiefs.
All right, so for people that don't know you in this league, what would you say your background is in football? Like, how long have you been playing? Where all have you played at? That sort of thing.
So I've been playing since the day I could play. I played at Upper Dauphin High School. Trojans, Trojan Pride. Then I went to college at King's College in Wilkes-Barre, which is a D3 school. Played there. I started for 2 years there at tight end. was like the second tight end my sophomore year. Got a couple reps, 2 tight end sets and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my background on football. I was a running back in high school, so I mean that's where my yards after the catch abilities come in. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So.
But so Arthur and I just talked about, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you at practice, but I ran the numbers, and we actually have the second toughest schedule in the league. How do you feel about that?
Got to beat the best to be the best. I kind of like having a tough schedule. We have kind of a cakewalk at the end of the year, like the whole league has said. But I feel like with a tough schedule, we're gonna have to be focused all year. With having the Cyclones our last week, we'll be ready for the playoffs.
Definitely.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So, Kickoff Classic is a week before everybody else plays, March 9th, at Selinsgrove High School. What are your feelings on that? Technically, they're saying it's week 0. You looking forward to that?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know the whole league's probably going to be there, except the people that can't, take the cold. But got to show everybody what we got, how we're coming this year, and just pretty much silence the critics that think we can't do it.
For sure. So one thing Arthur and I talked about also, and we touched on, is turf. A lot of teams are going to turf fields. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing for the league?
Oh, I love it. I mean, my last 4 years I played on turf, so I mean it makes you faster. I feel like definitely like field conditions last year were kind of a big things for a lot of our games. So having turf would eliminate most of the field conditions. And I feel like it just makes the game faster, and you're able to do a lot more on turf. So
We're gonna see a 4.440 from Treyway.
I'm thinking like a 4.22.
4.22. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So if there is one game on this schedule that you have circled that is just this is the one that we need to have for sure, what's that game for you?
Can't just put one game on that. I'd say probably the 2 I have circled for sure is definitely the Vikings. Need a little revenge on the Vikings, but also the Cyclones week 10.
Awesome.
Or 11 or whatever that is.
Yeah, I think it would be 10 because technically, like I said, the Kickoff Classic is week 0. So
yeah, those are definitely the 2 I'd have circled in my calendar.
For sure, for sure. You got any questions for Trey?
No, not right now.
Arthur's blanking right now. He's tired. He wants to go home.
It's been a long couple days.
But all right, I got one more question for you before I let you go. At the end of the day, I know you play a lot of Fortnite and stuff, but if there was one video gamer in the league that you want to take on, who is it?
Depends on what game we talk about.
All right, so if you had to play Madden against anybody in the league, who are you playing? That's not on the Comanche.
Ooh,
I know we asked the tough questions.
Get your mind right.
Everybody in the league, but if it came down to it, probably Malik. He probably plays some video games, and I feel like I could spank him up pretty easily.
Oh, you want Malik Breon of the Moshannon Valley Vikings? I can respect that.
Yes, sir.
That would probably be a good.
Tyler Joseph, Tyler Joseph, I already spanked him in a bunch of games. So.
Well, you two be playing Fortnite together. That's kind of unfair. You two already playing video games together.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely, I feel like Malik Greg would be fun to play too. I don't know if he plays video games. He's a little old,
Medina. Yo, don't call Greg old.
Nah, I'm playing.
Yeah.
He knows I fuck or screw with him or whatever you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can curse on this.
Nah, we're gonna keep this as PG as possible.
Alright, well, I blanked that out.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you, bro. I got you. All right, bro. Probably Malik. All right. Wait, so do you want to play him in Madden before we play them?
Yeah, probably before.
Okay, cool. That way you can talk all you want then, right?
Like this is how it's going to go on the field.
Yeah, sure. That way, if y'all, yeah, definitely, if y'all two line up against each other, y'all gotta bring up that Madden score.
Definitely.
Collins country, baby.
Yeah. All right, yo, I'm gonna let you go. All right.
All right, bro.
All right, be easy, Trey.
See you guys later. See you, Arthur.
See you,
All
man.
right, yo, peace.
It's Trey White.
And that was Treyway, everybody. I definitely think I think Trey put it best, man. I think the Vikings is a good game to circle just for me because like that Vikings game last year, is a good revenge game, especially for me. I think it's just going to be a good game for us, all together. But I think Trey summed it up pretty well. When you play a tough schedule, you kind of have to stay focused on a week-to-week basis.
You're pretty much, if you do play a tough schedule, you're ready for anything.
Yeah, and I definitely, coming from more of a personal aspect, I'm not looking past the Gorillas at all because just because they're a new team in the league, just because you hear rumors about how it's the old Pharaohs and the old Pharaohs were never really that good, this, that, the third, blah blah blah. Cool, talk is cheap.
Yeah,
rumors are rumors. Like nothing is set in stone until you step inside those white lines and you're
You taking it by lightly, that's when you get got.
Yeah. And everything's a rumor until you step on that in between those white lines and pad up, you know what I mean? And then all rumors go out the window and you really just see what the guy across from you has. But I think that's it, man. I really don't have anything else. The league podcast, move over to Blog Talk Radio. The link is on the league page. Also, shout out to James Simerson, president of the league. He and I talked at some pretty good length after the test episode. Just talked about some different things, this, that, and the third, and he's been a real help to this. I also just want to clear up to that way this isn't a thought. I'm not trying to take the league podcasts clout. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to run them out of town. I'm trying to think about it like when you have, like today being Sunday, you have, the pregame and postgame of the NFL. You have, during the week, you have Sports Center, you have like NFL Live, you have, what's
it's just the different avenues.
Yeah, just a different avenue.
You go down to get this information.
Yeah, we're in no way trying to encroach on the league podcast, and I know James brought up a possible, people had said that, oh, we're just trying to run him out, this and that. No, it's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to give a different opinion. I want to keep this as player oriented as possible. Like
it's just
tonight,
nice to get stuff from others' perspective.
Yeah,
from more of your perspective, since we're all players here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I know in the NFL they do like the Players Tribune. This is a lot more like that. It's more of just players talking to players about players and games and rules and this, that, and the third. So I do actually have one more question for you, though, actually, before we completely sign off. If you were to pitch this to a high school kid on why, they should come play 8-man instead of just retiring from football altogether because they don't have any college offers, this, that, and the third, what would you say to a high school player that might be interested in coming to play 8-man?
Well, considering I didn't even know that 8-man really was a thing until maybe last year, like 4 years removed from college, I'd say never dismiss anything just because it's not what was your first choice. Always, if you really love playing the sport of football, it shouldn't matter where you go to play as long as you can still play and do what you love, because then you're never really working. You're just following your heart and you won't have any regrets in the future.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, everybody. I mean, this is Chalk Talk Ep.2. Let's hope this gets a little better feedback.
Yep.
But shout out to Treyway. Shout out to the YouTube viewership. And
if you ever want to talk about anything, just call in.
Yeah, call in. I'm gonna put. I mean, you can message me on Facebook if you want my personal information. I can call in through cell phone. If not, hit me up on Facebook. Like I said, I'll call anybody. But yeah. Next to that, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. I'm still learning this league. Still trying to meet everybody in it. So.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun year.
Yep.
All right, y'all. We out.